babe, I was really hoping that you'd take out the trash before it got dark. Like, you just
I would take out the trash if my back didn't hurt. Good afternoon. This is the Delight in the Journey podcast. I'm James.
And I'm Kaylee. Thanks for being here. We just look forward to having another hangout time with whoever is listening. We just want you to feel like you're with us and that you're a part of the conversation. So today we're going to talk about marriage. The last time we talked about the whole story on how we met and kind of our love story, how we fell in love and all that goodness. And yeah, we just want to talk more in depth now about marriage. So we're actually coming up on our 12-year wedding anniversary. And we've been through a lot. I mean, it's actually crazy what we've been through the past 12 years, if you think about it. We're actually living in Nigeria right now, adopting our 5th child. So yeah, 3 international adoptions, 2 biological kids. We are very outside of the box, to say the least.
I don't even know where the box is anymore.
Yeah, man, going through these different adoption processes, like with you, it's just like super bonded us. And even the hardships of it all, like we're the only ones, that can relate to each other really, because we're the only ones that have gone through it.
Shared lived experience.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes traumatic events that happen, that can definitely tear couples apart. And so I'm very grateful that we've used these opportunities to draw us closer together.
Can you specify exactly what you mean when you say traumatic events? Because the way you phrased it made it sound like adoption is traumatic.
I mean, there can be traumatic aspects, but like specifically, I think about how when we adopted Eden, she was our 3rd child, and she was deaf and she was language-deprived. And so bringing a child like that into our family who didn't have any concept of language whatsoever, she was 6 or 7 years old at the time, and she was very difficult. And there was no like training manual for us to follow. And it was a lot of prayer, and it was a lot of pausing and being like, okay, we need to figure out how we're going to handle this together and like what to do together. Yeah. And that's something we do consistently. Like every couple months we sit down and we're like, we need to reevaluate like how things are going. Is it each kid like getting what they need? Mm-hmm. Are we getting like what we need? And then even weekly, we try and check in with each other. It's not always like this official thing, but, is there something I can do for you this week? Is there, how can I pray for you this week? Or what's something that brought you joy this week? Just like asking those types of questions.
Yeah.
I mean, we communicate very well, and we always have, and I don't take that for granted. That's a very special thing. So for a couple that wants to get better at their communication, like what advice would you give?
Don't look at your own opinion as the most important thing. And be willing to not only hear out a different opinion, but to entertain the possibility that the opinion you're hearing might be correct and your opinion might be incorrect, even if it's not. But being willing to go there, trust. I think is really huge, because and you can't do that without trust.
Yeah, and like I really trust you, and so we don't really disagree on a lot of things, and we don't really have that many arguments, I guess. But like I trust you, and so on those times where you say something different, since I trust you, I'm really going to listen to what you're saying and,
right.
and be like, okay, he could be right.
And when I say something that I feel really strongly about, if you respond in a way that's counter to it,
yeah.
I'm not going to just sit in my belief because I feel really strongly about it. I'm willing to hear you out.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, if it's something that is important or whatever, I will see it from your perspective after you share your perspective with me.
Mm-hmm.
I think being willing to change your perspective is really important. Not be so set in your perspective or your opinion that the other person's doesn't matter.
And I think doing things like, you have to build a relationship, right? Like, you can't, just like a relationship with a friend or with God and with each other, like, you have to put effort into that relationship. You can't just go day by day not hanging out, not laughing together, not, like, you've got to make time for each other. And for us, like, besides our relationship with God, like, our relationship with each other is the most important. And our kids are watching that, and we want them to be able to, you know, like, recognize that and see what a healthy relationship, what a healthy marriage looks like.
I want my children to expect that out of a relationship when they get older. I want them to have this foundation of expectation on what marriage looks like, so that when they're at that point of considering marriage, that they don't enter into a relationship with somebody that is not going to be healthy for them.
Right. And so we try and we're very, like, fun.
If we don't say so ourselves.
No, I mean, like,
we
just
do
like,
say
we're
so
fun.
ourselves.
Like, we are fun. We like adventure.
Yeah.
We do crazy things, like, you know, choosing to give birth outside on our property and you catching the baby. Like, we do crazy things. We've moved to Africa.
It's not really crazy in light of history. Like,
well, but it's crazy.
The majority of history gave birth that way, so it's really not that crazy.
We've moved to Africa 3 times, you know, to do these adoptions. Once to Ghana for 19 months, once to Nigeria for 6 months, and then our current time in Nigeria. We've been through so much, and communication is just so key. And I want our kids to, like, see us communicating well. Even if we're having a disagreement, I want them to see the resolve. And if we do get to the point where we have to apologize, which I feel like it's pretty rare. Do you think it's even, like, once a month that something happens and we have to, like, apologize for the way we... Probably, like...
I don't even know.
Probably, maybe, like, once a month or something. And it's usually because I'm having, like, a rough day or something.
Oh, once a month. Okay. Okay, there it is. Now we all know why.
And you taught me how to apologize, because you would be the first person to apologize when you weren't even really in the wrong, and you would just do it. And then I kind of, like, was like, wow, he's willing to apologize just to make things right. And it wasn't even his fault. It was my fault. And so I think I've gotten better at also coming to you and apologizing, you know. It's just like, you can't have that kind of pride in a healthy marriage. Like, just go to the person and just say, you know, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have talked to you that way, you know.
Remember that when you're in a tough circumstance or you're up against something that's challenging, it's not you versus each other in the challenge. It's you and her versus the challenge. And it doesn't matter how many challenges come up. If you look at things from that perspective, my heart is for her heart is for me, my intentions are for her intentions are for me. We both want what's best for the other. We're on the same side. No challenge is going to be too big for us to tackle together because we're together.
When we do have disagreements, like, we never say harsh things to each other.
Right.
Like, we never say, like,
no ad
hurtful
hominem
things.
Yeah.
What's that? What's that?
Like personal attacks.
Oh, no. Like, we would, like, I don't think we've ever done that. And so I think that's an important thing too, is, like, we should never be verbally attacking each other.
There's no reason to break each other down.
Yeah, like, let's build each other up. And and you know, it takes practice, and that's okay. If that's something, like, you struggle with, just keep practicing and practice repenting right away, and, like, let your kids see you repenting to each other. Like, that's so healthy. It's so good. Let them see conflict resolution. Anytime you are bringing in children, like, there's going to be different dynamics in your family, and it is very important that as spouses that you are, like, on the same page. And so it's so much bigger than just us, and we realize that it's not about just our marriage. And in fact, for everyone, it's more like, what is your job, like, as a couple, like, for the kingdom of God? If you're a believer, then what is your purpose? Not just you individually, but as a couple. And so that's something that's really that's really been important to us also is talking about like how to lead our family for the kingdom, not just for the Wilson family. Like we're it's bigger than that.
We are stewards of everything that we have. We're stewards of these children because they're God's children. We're stewards of our finances because they're God's finances. When we look at things through that lens, it keeps us from, I guess, getting prideful or whatever, because it's not ours.
Us. Yeah.
I mean, it's not even our story. It's his story,
right.
And we just get to play a part in it.
Right. Yeah, that's really good. And that's one of the things that he's called us to do, is to share our family and to share the story that he's writing through our family. And so that's why we even like post things about our adoption journeys and, you know, showing our kids the like before and after, and showing their growth, and hopefully encouraging other families to adopt too. Like that's a huge passion of ours. Is there's just such an orphan crisis, and there's not enough people willing to step up and answer that call.
Yeah.
And so hopefully by watching our family, people see like our love shining through, and they're like, I want that. Something that's super important to us that I wish we would have learned sooner is how to pray together. I mean, we would pray for like meals, but we never really had any like in-depth prayer time until we were living apart. I was living in Ghana and you were back in the U.S. And sometimes we'd go 6 days without talking on the phone, and that's when we started to pray together over the phone, because we were so just desperate, like, to God, and desperate, like, for each other. It just feels awkward, you know?
At first.
Yeah, because it's like this intimate time, and you're having this conversation with God, and
there's this other person there.
Yeah, and you're like, just, you know, depending on what issues maybe you're in the middle of working out, like sometimes it just feels weird to pray together. And I wish we would have overcome that sooner, but we didn't know. But I think that would have been really powerful for us early on. And so, yeah, it wasn't until like 3 years into our marriage that we started to learn how to pray together and get past the awkwardness. Like, you just do it. You just do it, and then it just starts to feel normal.
I've heard newly married Christian couples say things like, I'd rather do anything but pray together, because it's that awkward.
It shouldn't be like that. Like just do it.
Yeah.
Like, do it like every night or every morning, you know. That is going to be something that is going to bond you and remind
You're prophesying over your day. Like, if you start your day, you have the opportunity to come together in agreement at the foot of God and just
one singular foot.
The one foot. Because they're so massive. I mean, you come together, it's not like you're at his feet. One foot.
Just one foot at the toe of God.
At the pinky toenail of the creator of heaven and earth. And bring him your gratitude, your desires, your worries, your anxieties, and he meets you.
Also, just like benefiting off of each other's, like, if you know that your spouse is like really good at something or gifted at something, like, encourage them in that. Even if maybe you don't enjoy it, like, you could still go out, and maybe your husband really likes working on cars or whatever, and so like as the wife, like, you could go out and just like
bring him some lemonade,
hang out with them, like pull up a chair, watch them do what they love to do if that's a passion of theirs. Same thing for the husband. If he knows the wife really likes whatever, like
knitting,
encourage her to knit. I mean, there's things like you will say, hey, I know that you would like to do this, and
there's a book you're working on.
Yes, there's a book, and like, you'll encourage me to do it because you know that it fulfills me and brings me joy, and so you will even take that extra step of like hanging out with the kids or taking the kids to go do something, you know. So I think that's super important. Or like the other day, you were like, hey, I really need a few minutes to myself. I need to like go for a walk.
I went out and I got lost in the community.
You found your way back.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, if that's what you need, like, then you should go.
30 minutes, go.
I was like, it's going to be dark. So yeah, 30 minutes. Try me back in 30 minutes. But like all that kind of stuff is just like super good. Just like really wanting to see the other person excel and just not exceed, but
Succeed.
just succeed. Yeah, in their different giftings and talents and.
Because when it comes down to it, if you're doing good, I'm doing good.
Yeah. If
I'm doing good, you're doing good. If we're doing good, our children are doing good. Mm-hmm. So if I put her first consistently and she puts me first consistently, then we're both going to be getting put first. We don't need to worry about ourselves. And if one of us needs something, then we can communicate to the other and the other can say, okay, go get the thing you need.
Yeah.
And if we're both getting what we need and the children witness that, then the children aren't in this weird, unhealthy place of there's chaos in the house or there's turmoil.
Or the parents are on different pages.
Right, the parents disagree.
They need to see the parents united.
I ask mommy for one thing, she says no, I go ask daddy, he says yes.
Yeah, we don't play that game.
Manipulation. Yeah, that doesn't happen.
No, because they know that we're united and we communicate. Like, yeah. I told you.
Harry just asked me for a loaf of bread.
A loaf of bread?
I said no.
Well, no, like this morning, like Valor had already had 2 crackers when he woke up, and you weren't in the room, and so when I saw you, I was like, I knew he was going to ask you for more crackers. So I was like, hey, Valor already had 2 crackers, and you're like, okay. So just like those little things of communication, like help run the home smoothly.
Yeah, and it takes both parents to be able to run the home smoothly. Yes. It's not up to her to run the home. It's not up to me to run the home. It's up to us mutually
and just having
to create the atmosphere that's healthy for our family and our home.
Having that open communication, again, I feel like it always kind of comes back to communication of like, I'd really like it if you could like take the trash out every night, for example.
I'd really like it if you could rub my back.
Yes, I know you are, but you need to ask me because I don't always think of it. But like just things like that, and then you just don't get offended. Just like you need to ask
me because I don't always think of taking out the trash.
Right.
Yeah.
But like we don't get offended. Like if I'm like, babe, I was really hoping that you take out the trash before it got dark. You're not like offended. You're just like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Like you just.
I would take out the trash if my back didn't hurt.
So it's wonderful because while we're in Nigeria, like we get to obviously be together full time. And a lot of times when we're living in the U.S., we're also together, but there are times throughout the years where James has been out and working, kind of a regular 9-to-5 job. But something that's really wonderful about having him home is just being able to have that 50-50 split of responsibility. And I know a lot of couples don't have that. But I really value that.
I do a lot of cooking.
Yeah, you do like probably 50% of the cooking. I know you're going to say 75%.
Recently, it's been more. I've been doing like 25% of the cooking recently.
Really? You think I've been doing more?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not keeping track. I'm not keeping a tally. I'm just using that as an example. It doesn't even like matter. Like just help each other.
Even when I was working 9 to 5, when I'd get home, I'm still the man in this family. I'm still her husband. I'm still my children's father, whether I'm in the house or out of the house. I don't want to come in and just join the children.
Well, because
and let her take care of me.
What if I've been home with the kids all day?
Exactly.
I'm
We're
exhausted.
both working.
I'm like, can you please, take a turn with the kids? Can you take them outside to play or like whatever it is? And you're always willing. And you still would do the dishes, clean up the house. Like you would still do a lot.
Right. So I know that there are men who will spend the entire day working and they come home with an expectation of, I get to clock out now. I'm not working anymore. I'm clocking out. Your wife doesn't get to clock out. So don't come home and make her go into overtime because you want to get off the clock. You're clocking off from your job and you're coming back to more responsibilities that you chose. So accept it, embrace it, and
with joy.
Help it thrive. We are raising future generation of people who are going to go into the world and interact with other people. Speaking of.
What are you mad about?
Hey.
What are you angry about?
coming in here with a scowl on your face. What's the problem, boy?
Yeah, that was really good.
Okay, bye. Yeah, so we're raising the future generation of adults who are going to impact the world. So we want them to have a healthy perspective on what marriage looks like. We want them to have a healthy perspective on what parenthood looks like. Yeah. Then when they grow up, they're going to think that that's what's normal. I know personally men who have shared, I just wish that when I got home from a long day of work, that when I walked in the door, my wife was ready to give me what I need when I get home from work. I'm out there sweating and spending all this time away from my family so that I can provide for them. And the least she could do for me is to provide me with something to make it easier for me to do what I'm doing for her. Without even taking into consideration, she's literally doing the same thing in your house, taking care of your kids, so that she doesn't have to go out and get a job like you and put your kids into the care of someone else. She is raising your children so that a stranger doesn't have to.
And it is great, like when you have extra energy and you can have a hot meal waiting for your husband, it's awesome. But it's good to be honoring, but I also don't think that should be like a requirement. Like, I love to like serve you in that way, but it's not.
It just comes back to
it's your attitude about it. You're not like,
it comes back to the attitude. It comes back to if I'm putting myself first, then that's the perspective I'm going to have. When I walk in the door, this is what I want. Yeah. This is what I expect. If I don't get it, then my marriage isn't doing well right now. Yeah. But if my perspective is putting her first, then I'm walking in the door ready for whatever's there. I mean, I don't know what kind of day she's had. The toddlers could have projectile diarrhea all over the wall, and she just finished scrubbing it so that I didn't have to see it when I walked in the door. And she's exhausted. Yeah. How can I walk into the house knowing that there's an opening for me to contribute to the house?
You're like probably the least selfish person that I know. You're selfless. And you are always looking for ways that you can serve me, or like, what did the kids need, or, individually even, what do they need? And you will take the time to like get down on their level and have like a conversation like, hey, I noticed you seem, a little off today, or like whatever it is, like, and you're way better at doing that even than I am, on like, getting down on their level and stuff. And so I just think, like, let's raise the bar. Like, I think all of us can do better. And it is super important for husband and wife to have that time. And like we always say, like, after the kids go to bed, it's slumber party time. Like, that's our time to hang out and connect with each other. And I think as long as the kids are in bed between 8 and 9 for like the rest of their lives, they don't have to go to sleep. But even, when they're teenagers, like, you can just hang out in your room. The rest
of their lives.
Like, just knowing that we get that time, and them knowing that time is set apart for us. And so, like, I can look forward to that if I'm having a rough day. It's like, okay, I know that I get to have that hangout time with James. And some nights, maybe it's like you need to just like zone out and watch a show or whatever. But some nights, like last night, it was like we just wanted to talk. And we weren't even talking about anything super like important. We were just like having a conversation, and it was just kind of just like a fun conversation, and then I fell asleep,
What would you say, is there anything you wanted to continue on? Okay. What would you say to people that don't have the desire to hang out with their spouse when their kids go to bed?
I would just say try and find some things that you can do in common, like have in common that you guys would want to do, because that's really important. Like, you've got to have that connection. Like, so
you can even,
like, do whatever it
takes.
takes.
Dial it back if you have to. If you both really like watching TV or Netflix or movies or whatever, find something that you can watch in common. Start there.
But like, ask these specific questions. Like, there's a really good marriage journal by Jeremy and Audrey Roloff. I think it's on beating50%.com. beating50%.com.
Why is it called beating50%.com?
Because like, you're not each doing 50%, you're doing more than 50%. I think is the meaning behind it. But like, go on there, buy their journal for $20, and it gives you weekly questions. And so if you feel like you're not connecting with your spouse, like, just get a tool like that is going to give you questions to ask each other. Like, that's super helpful. And don't settle. Like, don't be mediocre. Like, a marriage is supposed to be a reflection, right? Of Christ, of Yeshua, and how he loves his people. And so we want to love each other in the same way that Jesus loves each of us. Yeah, I just encourage anyone watching, listening, and also ourselves, like, we can do better. Like, we can step up. Like, be an example. When people look at you, let there be fruit from your marriage that your kids see and that people around you see.
I think if we wanted to take this conversation further, I would want feedback from people that we could speak to directly.
Okay, so are you saying people should leave a comment?
Yeah.
With maybe like a specific marriage situation or like a specific question?
And that, I'm not saying that I or we have all the answers.
No.
But if there's a question that meets our experience, then we can definitely speak into it in a way that has benefited us, or some things that we've learned in our journey. 12 years is a pretty long time, but in those 12 years, we have accelerated.
Yeah, we've been intentional.
That beyond like an average decade worth of relationship material, information, education, because of the things that we have decided and purposed to do in our life. So if we can share anything, we would love to. So drop a comment. Even send us an email if you want. Our email's in the description. Yeah. And thanks for being here with us. And we hope that that you heard something that encouraged you. There's always more. Like, you are not stuck in your circumstance. Like, there's always something that can be done. And so maybe that even starts with sitting down with your spouse tonight and having a conversation of like, hey, I want to change the way things are. How can we do this together? Yeah. We're on a team. That's good. Let's remember this. Let's do this together. All right. Please subscribe. What? Do we have to say that every time? No. It feels weird. Okay, thanks. Thanks for watching. Go ahead. Okay. So thanks for being here, and we will see you next time. Unless they don't subscribe, and they won't know.